Hi, and welcome to another episode of All Things Considered. Today I want to speak to you about two things. One, the helicopter crash that just happened. There was at least 9 individuals on this helicopter that died, passed away. I do not know their names, although I do know the names of 2 individuals, which I am not going to name because I don't want them to overshadow the rest of the people that have died. My thoughts and prayers go out to the families of the victims in this crash. May you find some semblance of peace over the next couple of weeks as you try to make it through this catastrophe. Just know that somebody's out there praying for you and your families. Also, Amazon, Jeff Bezos. There's been at least 350 people that have went on strike. And upon doing that, they have not thought about whether or not their job is important. And the reason I say that is because Jeff Bezos has made it clear that he does not want anybody working for his company to protest about anything that's job related. And unless your job dictates that you're a valuable employee, you think of yourself as a cog in a big wheel. If you were to fall out, another one would take your place and keep on chugging. When you work for people like Amazon or you work for Walmart or Kmart or Target, McDonald's or Burger King, whatever the case may be, and you're just an employee, that's all you are. You're just a number. You're not a name, you're just a number. And if you think that your job is vital, that your job position, if you think you're crucial to your job, think again. While you're there, they will use you and get as much out of you as they can. But if you were to be terminated from your job, or if you were to go on strike and say, hey, we want higher wages, the company would say, okay, well, you don't want your job, you're fired. And they would bring in X amount of employees to take your place. They can do that because you're not important. Now, if you were in upper management, such as like, say, you were a corporate manager or something, you might have a little more leverage. But these 350 some people decided to protest about Amazon, and they're being part of the problem of climate change and how climate change is happening. Yes, it is happening. Climate change, it goes from hot to cold. Sometimes it's extremely cold for long periods of time, like in the early 70s. They had, oh, it's global cooling. Global cooling. Then it's global warming. Now, the reason I say that it changes is because if you take a quarter and you were to put it on a table and you were to spin that quarter, as the quarter is spinning, it'll go close to the edge of the table, then it'll come back away from the edge of the table. That's the way the Earth is when it spins on its axis around the sun. There's times when it gets a little closer to the sun, and there's times when it gets a little further away from the sun. When that happens, we have global warming. When it gets a little too close to the sun for long periods of time, we have global warming. It's got nothing to do with the ozone layer. It's got nothing to do with any of that stuff. Of course, it's not good to eat up the ozone layer and the protective layer around the Earth. But it's nothing to really be extremely scared about because it happens from time to time. Back in the early 70s, we were a little bit further away from the sun, so it was cold. Everybody was saying that it was global cooling. They were having large amounts of ice in the Arctics and all of this. Then it started to get warmer where the ice was melting. Look, the Earth has been here way longer than we have. So we shouldn't worry about the global cooling or the global warming. Now, we shouldn't do anything to help speed up the process, but there's not really anything we can do to stop the process either. And for companies that say, oh, I've got this huge carbon footprint, I plan on giving X amount of dollars to offset my carbon footprint, instead of shrinking your carbon footprint, we could probably get our carbon footprint down to where it was like an inch. And the earth would still probably get destroyed. Just remember that when you're on your job, how important are you to your company? Are you a dime a dozen? Are there 40 million other people waiting to get your job? Because if you were to lose your job, I can guarantee you that by tomorrow, your company is going to already have somebody else hired, and they're already going to be moving on as if you never existed, instead of sitting around sulking and saying, oh, where did he go? We can't work without him. Yes, stand up for yourself. I believe in that. There's a time and a place for everything. And when you're going to protest about something, please make sure that you have the advantage. Make sure that you have leverage over your company. If you don't have leverage, don't do anything rash to get yourself fired, because you need your job. Some of you have families. Some of you have kids going to school. Some of you are single and you have rent to pay, especially in Seattle. That's where this occurred, was at the main corporate in Seattle. There was that big protest that just happened. So Jeff Bezos, he's at it again. He knows that he has the upper hand. So if you have any more to add to this video, please put it in a comment below. I would really like to hear about your thoughts and your opinions. If you have another idea for a video that you'd like me to do, please put it in the comments below. That would be really great. And also, hit that thumbs up button. Give me a big old like. If you do like my videos, give me a big old like. And hit the subscribe button. It's right underneath the bottom of the video, like right there. Yes, there. You see it? It's right there. I'm going to let you go on that note. Just remember that when you wake up in the morning, it's a brand new day. We want to make tomorrow better than yesterday by doing the very best we can today. Please help somebody along the way if you can. If somebody tells you thank you, say thank you back. If somebody says hello, say hello. And if somebody needs a door open, please open the door for them. You'll feel better about yourself when you go to bed tomorrow night. I'm going to let you go on that note. This has been All Things Considered. Please have a good day. Seattle, America, and all points beyond.